So we're going to start with one of our most desirable markets during the peak summer months, which is starting now, and take a trip to the high country that is made up as of the towns that I mentioned, Blowing Rock and Boone and Banner Elk and Linville Ridge, where retirees are really defining what it means to retreat. So North Carolina's high country offers an elevated lifestyle, really rooted in natural beauty and community and year-round recreation. Increasingly favored for both seasonal retreats and multi-generational living, properties here serve as lasting investments, both in family and financial legacy. There's tax advantages, top-tier healthcare, and access to private clubs. So this region really blends luxury living with long-term value. As mentioned, Jessica is with us from the High Country Markets, and we'll get started with her sharing her insights into what makes this area so desirable and special. So Jessica, the High Country is known for its four-season appeal. Can you talk a little bit about how this enhances both lifestyle and investment value for buyers?
Yes, so people are drawn here naturally because of the four different seasons. So not only do we have, average of low 70s in the summertime, which we're enjoying right now, as the others mentioned, it is much hotter off the mountain. So we don't have that high humidity level. So people have been coming here for ages just to beat the heat. But it's not just about the summer. Our fall season is gorgeous with beautiful fall foliage. The winter season, we have a lot of we have three different ski resorts up here. So we have a vibrant ski community as well. And then the spring is also beautiful as well. So our towns and our communities have really done a great job of extending the season. For instance, our Beach Mountain resort, they turned the ski resort into a downhill mountain bike park in the summertime. They have a wonderful concert series that they do. And so they're really giving, a reason for people to come all four seasons. And so it's not really just about people that are wanting to live here. They come here on vacation first, and then we'll transition ultimately to wanting to stay here and spend more time. I always tell people the more time that you spend here, the more you're going to want to be here. And part of that is just really expanding across the different seasons. The resort communities that our area represents are also somewhat more immune to the we have a little bit more consistent demand across the market. So, when we don't see the sharp ups and downs quite as much as the other markets do, we're a little bit more consistent there.
Very good. And can you tell us a little bit about the other recreational options like dining and those who prioritize wellness?
Yes, so we have world-class dining across all of the different towns in our area, and each one is going to have its own character. A lot of them focus on farm to table with local ingredients. We have several farmers markets in the area, so they try to source as much as they can locally. And several of the restaurants are really stepping it up. We actually have a private restaurant concept in a few of our communities, and it's just really stepped up. So you are very surprised that you come to a small mountain town and have access to such wonderful dining opportunities. And then we also have several wineries that have events throughout the year, live music pretty much every day, and then special culinary events that they do with wine pairing or guest chefs as well. And then as far as the wellness centric amenities, we have world class spas like Westglow. It's one of the top 10 spas in the country. We have fitness clubs. There's also wellness centers that are geared towards either rehabilitation or maintenance and just really kind of staying active. And we also have fitness clubs as well as holistic retreats.
Very good. So, with that prioritizing the outdoor access and those type of things, talk a little bit about the proximity for activities like skiing and hiking and other things that people would like to do outdoors that really may help influence buyer preferences for the area.
Yeah, and one of the things that we really see a lot is that when folks are looking to purchase a home, especially if it will ultimately end up being a retirement home for them in their retirement, they're wanting something that their children and grandchildren can enjoy as well. And so they're really focused on being in an area where there's something for everyone to enjoy. It's not just about their preferences. They may not be getting on the slopes, but their kids and grandkids will. So we also have amazing fly fishing opportunities that has really kind of made a name for itself in the trout fishing. And so also vacation rental is one of the things that people look to as far as a long-term investment. So they're not necessarily ready to make the full-time move here. So they buy a home and they rent it out while they're not using it. And we've had great success in a very strong tourism resort type market that have all these amenities and wonderful things to do around. And so those type of activities are really important, not just for the people that are enjoying it themselves, but for their family as well as their guests that will ultimately be staying with them.
And so we saw on the map where the high country is located. Tell us a little bit about the accessibility for travel when people want to come to the area, especially, options for flying in.
So we're within 2 hours of several major airports. Charlotte Douglas International would be the largest, which is about 2 hours away from in Charlotte. But we also have Asheville Regional, Greensboro, the Tri Cities, and then we have a few local private options as an option that's a much smaller airport for smaller planes. But Elk River is a private airstrip that a lot of people choose to take advantage of. And you can even just purchase a lot in there. You don't have to be a homeowner to be able to have access to that airstrip.
Very good. So healthcare is very important to all of us. Will you tell us a little bit about the accessibility and availability of healthcare and the care that is provided in that area?
Yeah, so this is one of the top things that people have on their list, right up there with number of bedrooms and bathrooms, is they want to make sure that they're close to good healthcare, not just healthcare, but good quality healthcare. And UNC Healthcare just actually purchased our regional hospital a few years ago and has really elevated the experience. They've opened an entirely new wing, and I'll tell you a quick story that kind of sets this in stone. A lot of people are really looking for that access to medical care because they are coming here, in their 60s and they're wanting to transition to here in retirement. And so I had some guests that were the same way, and they were looking just at this area as an option, but they weren't quite sure about the healthcare. And when they were here, he actually unfortunately had a heart attack, but was in the ICU there for a week. And they said because of the care that he received during that experience, that this was going to be their forever home, and that reassured them to that. So I thought that was a good testimony to really a trial run of the services. But we really do have a lot of wonderful activities. People have been coming to the mountains for hundreds of years to heal, and the air is so clean and fresh here, and there's so many wonderful things to keep you active that is more preventative and then just take care of the whole body instead of just wait until there's a problem. And so we have a medical center in Blowing Rock that it focuses more on rehabilitation. So it's a transitional. They do have some long-term care options, but if you're not quite ready to go home and need a little bit more care, it's a transitional center as well as a rehab.
Great. And will you tell us a little bit about the people that live there, as well as some of the tax benefits that come along with being a member of the area?
So we're in an interesting kind of market here in especially Watauga County because we are a college town. So our demographics do shift quite a bit depending on the time of year. So in the summertime, all our students go back home, and we do have a lot of second homeowners that are primarily from the southeast in Florida that are coming up here to beat the heat when it's 100 degrees off the mountain and it's 70 here. And so we are average about 134 residents total, but that does fluctuate quite a bit throughout the year. And so in Watauga County, which is Boone and Blowing Rock primarily in Watauga, The average home price is 572,000, and then we're in between, the mid 300s to 400 for Avery County, which would be Banner Elk area, and then Ashe County, which would be West Jefferson, is the town there, and then Allegheny County, which is Sparta, and that's a little bit further north, almost in Virginia. And so our inventory has quite fluctuated a lot throughout the last few years, but we're definitely coming into more of a buyer's market where we've got a lot more options for our buyers, which also give more options for our sellers to be able to go and explore other opportunities. Our main industries here it is a resort destination. So service, hotels, hospitality, tourism is our big industry. We do have a lot of construction, but there's not a whole lot of manufacturing going on. So, and then education and health services. So Appalachian State University is one of our primary draws and economic drivers. And then we also are home to Samaritan's Purse is locally here as well. And we have a few other companies, but not so much manufacturing, more on the service side. As far as the tax benefits, especially for property tax values, especially when we're comparing in other locations, it's a much more of a value for them to come here. And there's also Social Security benefits that aren't taxed, and then a flat income tax rate as well.
So this is a sampling of some of the homes that are for sale. Would you please comment on these and give a little color to our audience about these properties?
So the first one at 344 High Country Overlook is featured in one of our local communities we'll talk about next. This is an Eagle's Nest. The lodge is at Eagle's Nest. So it is not a private club. It's a community that has a lot of outdoor amenities. They always say they trade in their golf carts for ATVs. So people ride their ATVs around the neighborhood. There's hiking trails, horseback riding trails. They just opened a brand new restaurant, which is a very, very high end. It's a what is it called? Chop House, I believe. And they have a couple other locations across the country. And so we do have some options that are not private clubs that still provide that sense of community and lifestyle that people are looking for at a much lower rate. In the middle is Baird's Creek Road. This is located just outside of Boone, kind of in between Boone and Banner Elk. This is not located in a community, but and honestly, whenever you step outside of the downtown areas, the value that you get is a lot more. You can get a lot more bang for your buck. So this has about almost 3 acres, and it's 3,700 square feet for 900,000. It's been updated as well, and has some nice usable land. Overbrook Trail is located up on Beech Mountain, which is one of our ski resort towns. You do have the option to join the Beech Mountain Club, which has a beautiful golf course, amazing views, a couple different restaurant options, recreational amenities. And then you can also either pass this on to your guests, or you can transfer it to your short-term rentals as well as a value added. Beech Mountain is a traditional ski town, but again, they really have done a great job of extending the season all 12 months of the year. So there's activities going on all year round.
And there are, of course, new construction projects and renovation projects in the area. Will you speak to the trends in, those new ones that are coming in and anything else that is happening in that renovation area?
So in our area, we have some really wonderful builders, but they're pretty backed up. So if you're going to start the process from start to finish, you need to be planning for about 3 year time frame to be able to get on someone's schedule and then be able to get into your home. And so one of the things that people are looking to do more so than start from scratch is to renovate. And we're starting to see a lot of the older traditional homes, especially up on Beech Mountain, that were built in the 60s. People are coming in and totally overhauling. One of the big things is becoming more efficient. So we don't really need air conditioning up here as much as you might think, but they're putting more efficient systems in. And the other thing that people are doing is really taking elements of nature. So poplar bark siding, cedar, different natural tones that complement the environment with a more modern spin. So we call it mountain modern. So it's kind of the trend and design wise. And then, low maintenance is what they're looking for because primarily we're a second home market. So people don't want to have to come in and do a lot of maintenance annually. So that's a big feature as well.
Sure. So you just mentioned, the second home buyers. What amenities or home features do they commonly look for?
They want a view. They want to know that they're in the mountains when they come here. And during the COVID years, we really kind of got on people's radar. They came here to work remotely, and they fell in love with the area. And we just experienced this boom as far as the rental market goes. When everyone went back to work, they started renting their homes. But those views are really what people are looking for, as well as the ability to have an indoor and outdoor living space that they can blend seamlessly. So big decks, patios, hot tubs. But the views are really primarily what drives people. I always say that the house comes with the view, but they're buying it for that view.
Sure. Some of the communities that are listed on the screen right now with some of the clubs and other things, with the ski access, multi-generational connection, are you seeing a lot of buyers wanting to have that legacy home that will accommodate multi-generations now and in the future?
Yes, absolutely. And so another thing that people are looking for is a split space so that they can have even, a separate apartment or totally separate living quarters for their family to feel comfortable while they're staying there. And then also bunk rooms are big because they always want a place for their grandkids to be able to enjoy as well. And really to with the intention of handing that down to their family ultimately.
And then these are some of the lifestyle communities for those generations. Will you just give us some brief insights into each one of these, please?
Yeah, so the ones that were listed previously are private clubs, which of course have a lot of wonderful amenities, but they do come at a much higher price point with ongoing expenses. These here are communities that do have an HOA for maintenance and support of the amenities, but they are not a membership type setup. And so Linville Land Harbor does have a golf course. They have a lake as well as a clubhouse with ongoing activities throughout the year. And the price points there are actually in the low 200s. I've even seen some in the higher 100s. So it's a very good entry level place that still has a beautiful mountain setting with a lot to do. Echota is very conveniently located. It's just outside of Boone and Banner Elk. They offer low maintenance options. A lot of times people are looking for more of a condo so that they don't have to worry about the exterior maintenance or anything when they're not there. And so they have a beautiful pool. They actually have a private one now for residents as well, a separate one for people who are renting. They have wonderful fitness amenities and then just the most amazing views. So they're up on top of the mountain, and as you can see from this photo, it's spectacular. Deep Gap and Powderhorn. I actually lived here for 11 years myself. Wonderful place to raise a family. There's 3 lakes there with trout fishing. We have one of the only native trout streams left in the whole state. And then there is a huge pool, a campground, and then a clubhouse that's been renovated as well. And these are all gated communities that offer, an extra level of security and privacy.
Thank you for those wonderful insights, Jessica.
Thank you.
Moving westward to the Asheville region, you'll find a very serene mountain lifestyle community with a refined creative edge. Asheville has a vibrant culture, and the surrounding communities of Brevard and Waynesville and Henderson just have a true mountain charm. And this whole region really attracts those looking for year-round access to nature and wellness-oriented communities and lasting value.